Hey there. Who do we have on right now? If you can, I don't know if you're muted. Let me see. Welcome. You can say, hey, or you don't have to put on the video if you don't want to, but your audio, if you unmute yourself, you can talk. And we'll just give a minute or so for people to come on. Or if you have a question now, I'm trying to guess who you are because I can only see your email, so I'm not sure who is with me. You can either type a question in the chat or you can ask with your voice. So I am going to just start off by saying, hey everybody, it's 10 o'clock. We're gonna get going because I do need to be off tonight at 11 Eastern here, so I have an hour. It is June 12th, 2019. This is the And She Rises group coaching program, weekly coaching call. And so welcome everybody to the live. And tonight I'm actually gonna pull one card as we begin. And of course, definitely call in the divine and allow only divine guidance to come through, and ask Archangel Michael that he give his white light of protection and have it surround every single person on this call and everybody watching the replay so that we have courage and we have truth. And again, divine guidance only coming through, and anything, any energy or anything that doesn't serve us is lifted away. And we're cutting those energetic cords right now. So we are open. Hello, Christy. So we're open, our hearts are open, our minds and our ears are open to all divine guidance. So saying that, I'm just going to pull one card. This is going to be something I'm just going to do starting tonight, just pulling one card, kind of like for the essence of the call or just a little bit of guidance before the call begins. This deck is, this is the Soul Coaching deck from Denise Linn. And this card for tonight is Impeccability. So which is actually pretty cool. I like this. Impeccability says on the card, and it has an affirmation at the bottom, and it says, I am impeccable in my thought, word, and deed. So basically a great card kind of just to encourage any one of us who's on here as we go forward in this journey of coaching and up-leveling and seeing things differently and being willing to release what doesn't serve us and take on new empowering beliefs and maybe even new habits for our lives, that it's just kind of saying like, okay, so now once we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. Once we make the commitment to make improvements, up levels, changes in our lives, in our thoughts, in our habits, in whatever it is that, you know, our routines, that we're going to stick to it. And this is the time to have discipline all around us, discipline and integrity, which I think is fantastic. So this is kind of like, you know, not the time to be whimsical or lackadaisical. It's really like, you know, master your craft, build on your skills, you know, don't, you know, avoid speaking words that are not speaking life into your dreams. Avoid just speaking confusion or speaking vagueness into your dreams, and really just know what needs to be done, and then make that commitment to yourself and have the discipline to see it through. So I love that card. What a great card just for the whole spirit of this group. Love it, love it. And these glasses are kind of bugging me because it's kind of, I have this light up here. I'm gonna see if I can move it a little bit so it's not totally right in my face. Maybe that's better. I have to master the ring light. I haven't mastered it. Some people can do it and they look like stunning in these ring lights, and I'm like, I just feel like it's wow, just a little bit much when I do it. Okay, so awesome. So either of you, Christy, and I'm not sure who's with us. Maybe if you want to type your name in the chat just so I know, because I can't tell from your email, LCAT90, I can't tell exactly who that is. So if you have anything you want to ask, definitely now's the time, or give an update. Christy, how are things going?
Things are going pretty good. I've reached out to some groups, and I've connected with a couple people. So I've been really trying to just get into their energy a little bit. But other than that, I mean, it's been going pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how do the conversations feel when you're connecting with these people? Does it feel like
Well,
organic and
sorry. Yeah. There's been a couple of them that have been a little bit different for me. And I don't know if it's because of like I was telling you before, that whole mindset of thinking, okay, am I saying this right? Not wanting to know, like, think that I know everything.
Yep.
And so it kind of baffled me a little bit today. So I had to really sit there and think about it. I'm like, okay, how do I put my point across, but not let him, it's a guy, him think that, you know, like I'm a know-it-all. So, and I'm sure that that's all limiting beliefs, but, yeah. So there was a couple today that I was like, how do I answer this? You know? So I don't know.
What type of questions was he asking? Just some about health and wellness?
Yeah, it was, okay. So with my Chiari, I'm on a couple of the Chiari groups.
Okay.
And, he had mentioned on there that he was having a hard time every time he turns around, it's something new, and his attitude, like just his whole life is basically a struggle is what he was talking about, you know?
Yeah.
And so I had went back on there and I was like, I know it doesn't feel, you know, I know it doesn't feel like it's working with like your positive affirmations and everything right now. I said, but it will, just please keep trying, you know? Yeah. And so he's like, well, I'm not giving up. That's for sure. That's why I'm still here today. And I just told him, I was like, you know, if you need any extra support, you're more than welcome to just message me and we can talk, you know? And he's like, well, I appreciate it. But it was a struggle a little bit. I'm like, whoa, I don't know.
So where do you think that comes from, that sense of, oh, if I talk too much, I'm like a know-it-all, or I'm coming across as, you know?
My ex-husband.
Okay. So, because that's definitely limiting belief, because you probably know when you went through it and you weren't feeling well, if you went and reached out in a support group and someone reached back like you are, how would you have felt?
Oh, it would have been great. You know, I really would have enjoyed that. Like somebody telling me besides, oh, go try this other medication or go to the doctor or whatever, instead of that, somebody being like, hey, you know, think positive, be able to, there's ways around it. You've got to have the mindset for it, you know?
Yeah.
And because before, I mean, nobody ever talks about that.
Right. Yep. Right. Because when you go into those chronic illness types of groups and somebody offers that, like, I've been there, I get it, and here's how I can help you, doesn't it feel so good? Like, you're so grateful. Like, it's like, oh, thank God. Like, because so many people don't understand it and don't want to hear it. And even family sometimes turns on you and they're like, I don't get it. But you don't look sick, you know, so it must be so nice to have someone like you. So when you have those feelings and you hear that voice of, oh, if you do that, you're just going to sound conceited or arrogant or like a know-it-all. That's definitely limiting belief, and you identified where it probably comes from. So how can you reframe that into like an empowering statement instead? So that would be, okay, here's a limiting belief. So what's true is, instead of, you know, my knowledge comes across, if I talk too much about what I know, I'm a know-it-all. What would be a empowering, more true statement?
Let's see. So, I mean, obviously it would be, I speak my truth in all areas of my life. What else could I use? I'm trying to think. I'm sure I can come up with some. I just can't think on the top of my head right now.
Yeah. So that might be a little homework already, is just to, whenever you feel those types of statements coming up in your head, on a piece of paper, like put a column down the middle and put those limiting beliefs on the left. And then for every single one on the right, reframe it into some sort of empowering belief that's like the opposite of it, which is the truth. So, you know, like you said, I speak my truth in all areas of my life. And as the opposite of, you know, what would be the opposite of, oh, people think I'm a know-it-all? What would actually be the truth?
I'm knowledgeable.
Yep, I'm knowledgeable. And how do they really feel?
How do they really feel? It feels good.
Yeah, right? So I am very knowledgeable, and people are grateful, you know, when I extend my knowledge to them or something like that, you know.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So that's, or I am very knowledgeable and I speak my truth and I am a blessing to the people that I support. And I know
Oh,
we
that's
hear
good.
that and we go, oh, that's conceited. But like, that's where like our programming, but it's actually, that is true. That is so true. It really is.
Right.
So to start saying that over and over again and just catching it there and saying, okay, what's my reframe? And start reprogramming your subconscious with that instead. That's
Okay.
the purpose of that.
Okay. That's a good idea. I mean, I do affirmations, but it's not really, it's never been really about like the knowledge part, you know, and about being like the know-it-all. So that's something I definitely need to work on.
Yeah. So what
that's
a
good.
gift that you reached out and that came up. So now it's something you didn't know was there, popped up. What a gift. So
Right. Yes.
awesome. That's totally like a double win. So cool. It really is. Because now we can just purge it. It's great. So,
yeah. This week has been so off. Like, so much has come up for me. Wow. I'm like, okay, what is in retrograde right now? Because things are like hitting me hard.
there are solar storms. I posted that. You saw that, right, on my business
Yeah.
page, solar storms. But I mean, this is the work, though. The good thing about that is when we get those waves, we know something's trying to come up. Like that's
Right.
good, actually. Something's trying to come up and out. It knows you're up leveling, so it's like, no, and it's going to start fighting you and having everything come up because it's trying not to die. So
Yeah.
so that's actually really good. That means it knows that you're up leveling. You're getting ready.
Yeah, it's it's been crazy. So I got date raped about 15 months ago, and the guy ended up passing away and in jail, which is weird. I don't know why he was in jail, but so all of his stuff has been coming back this last couple days. His parents are suing the jail, and like just everywhere I turn, it's just bringing up all these things that I thought I had healed a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so it's been, yeah. And everywhere I turn, it's like something else. And I'm like, okay, I know that this is here so that I can learn and so I can heal and figure this all out. But man, it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm so sorry you went through that, just holding space for you right now, because
That's okay. Yeah. So it's been, but I've been really just trying to focus. I mean, I know I have to sit in it because I do have to get that out, but I'm like, I'm really wanting to get past this. So I've been trying so hard to just focus on what all my homework assignments. So I'm like, I got to get this done. So, but yeah.
Well, also too, be sure to take that time, like we talk about, to feel it. Like if it's trying to come out, better off just riding the wave with it so it doesn't stay stuck there, and then pop up right when you're trying to really do something, like when you're really trying to up level, and then here it comes. So if it's trying to come out now, so what do you feel like is a good way for you? What feels good to you to kind of process this? Like, what do you feel? Like, you don't have to, like, it's whatever way feels good to you. And sometimes that means I just want to sit and cry for 5 hours, like whatever.
That's exactly what it feels like. I seriously just want to sit in my room and have quiet time and just cry. And that's kind of like, I'll even like drive in my car and tears will just come down my face because something triggers that. And I'm like, oh, so I have to take 15 minutes and just let it go.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just, it's perfect. Whatever your body wants to do, that's awesome that you're just letting it flow through.
Yeah.
And if it's still there in a month, it's still there. Like, no, there's no time frame, no rush. So.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, everything's going good. I'm actually reaching out to people. So that's a good thing. So.
Yep. How does the other homework feel as far as like your core message and your ideal client?
You know, I worked a little bit on that, and I was like sitting there trying to, well, I wrote some of it down, you know, like my ideal client would be the ones with the chronic illnesses, with depression, anxiety. And like, I was sitting there thinking about how I felt, and it was just so much sadness. You know, there's so much sadness. You're missing out on life. You feel like you have no quality of life. And you honestly just feel like you want to give up.
I'm writing this down. That's good. So to start to connect with that ideal client. So you're in the Chiari groups.
Mm-hmm.
Where else do you think would be a great place to connect with that woman or that person?
You know what? I don't know. Because I mean, they're all over the world, you know, from the group and stuff. And so I don't know if I could like start just trying to reach out to people through like Messenger. Because around here, I mean, it took forever for people to even know what Chiari was.
Yeah.
And then, you know, even like gastroparesis, because they diagnosed me with that also. And so I figured if I could do maybe the 2 groups and stuff, then it'd have to be through social media, a lot of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you also in like the Lyme disease groups or anything like that?
I'm not. Mm-mm.
Okay. Have you been diagnosed with that at all?
With Lyme? No.
Or tested? Okay. I find a lot gastroparesis comes up a lot there when it gets to be a really chronic late stage.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's scary. It's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's scary.
So I know there are probably so many people who could use like some energy healing, some trauma healing. Who's got the party on?
Oh my goodness. Sorry guys. I'm listening though. I have 2 kids at home like freaking out. I'm like, oh,
mom's doing something.
Vacation.
I gotta freak out.
I'm like, it's time for
I hear ya.
vacation.
Been there, done that for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
yeah. So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So yeah, I don't, you know, they've never even tested me for Lyme, to be honest with you. I don't know, but I'm not sure what they just said I had, well, obviously I have the Chiari, and then they diagnosed me with gastroparesis, gastritis, oral dysphagia, and liver reflux.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So there's also autoimmunity groups probably that could have people who are dealing with some of this as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we also had talked about like groups with narcissism too. There are those, and there's a lot of people in those groups too.
Yes, there is.
So yeah, I think, so what feels good to you as a next step as far as, you know, going forward in your business at this point? Just kind of continuing to develop these your messages and things, or continuing to meet people, or do you feel like it's getting to that point of going live, doing that challenge?
Well, right now I'm like, I think just trying to focus on meeting a little bit more people. And then we also have, me and Sam, we signed up for an event. It's actually a holistic healing event in our community. And so I think that's going to help a ton. And then I'm thinking, I think what we decided on is in the next 2 weeks after the healing event, we're going to do that journaling challenge. And then that way we can step into the chakra course.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah.
So will you be offering a course together, the chakra course? You teaching it together?
Yeah.
And are you going to charge for that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So do you have all those, like, do you have the course outlined and everything already?
Yep.
Okay. And do you have a price point?
I think we decided 77.
How long is
That's
the
what I thought
course?
we were. Well, we're going to go through all 7 of the chakras. So I'm not really sure how long it would take.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do, so what we're doing is we're going to go through it, help them recognize, like if it's blocked or if it's clear. And then we're going to give them affirmations and like the essential oils, what's good for, with each chakra for the essential oils. And then like the archangels, we're going to explain the archangels with them for each chakra. And then we decided that we were going to put together a chakra set for crystals.
That is so cool. That is really awesome.
Yeah.
So, and are you going to do, so the journaling challenge, are you going to work in the chakras to that somehow to give them like a little intro? So it's almost like, your challenge, when you offer a course, your challenge should almost be like, your course should be the logical next step after your challenge. So it's like your challenge is the intro,
Yes.
and then, so, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And that's what we went through. Yeah. We were doing that yesterday. I said, well, I want to do a journaling prompt of like, so like on day 1, we would obviously do the crown, and then we would we would write down the prompt for the crown, like an affirmation and stuff, and let them feel it, let them figure it out. And then this is all going to be live. Nervous, but it's going to be live, so that we can, explain to them and everything. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to do a journaling prompt for each chakra. And then that's when we'll reach into the course.
Awesome. And when do you plan on doing that, the challenge?
We're going to do that. So our event is the 21st. And so I think it's going to be, it's the 27th or 8th that we're going to start doing that.
Okay. That's June, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I would start to invite people to your group for this already. So I would start talking about this already on your personal page, like, because this is kind of like an intro to chakras, right? This is in a way. And so a lot of people are into that. So now it opens up other groups. So it opens up like the manifestation, law of attraction groups. It opens up like, even some of the business groups that are like spiritual boss babes, like all these groups. And just when they have like those freebie days where you can, I don't know, some of it's Wednesday, some Friday, you're allowed to go in the group and post like, we're doing a journaling challenge to dive deep into the chakras, and start wherever you can start talking about it. I would. And even on your personal page, like a simple curiosity post, like, who is interested in the chakras, or who knows about the chakras, or who wants to know more about how your chakras can, help to heal your anxiety, or something like that. Like something that's just one sentence asking a question. And then when people comment, oh, me, just, comment back and say, I'm going to message you. And then invite them to the challenge. I would start doing that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would have Sam start doing it now too. Just try to start getting people into your group.
Okay.
And then so from now until the challenge, you two might want to just start posting little things about, I don't know, just make sure you're posting daily and doing something in there so that it keeps the group busy and active between now and the challenge. Welcoming new members, maybe, I don't know, whatever you want to do for content in there that's inspiring, maybe teaching something that's, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing in there right now. I haven't seen it lately, but.
Yeah, it's basically inspirational quotes and stuff. That's all we've really been doing lately. I mean, we haven't had like a card pull or anything lately. We have another gal that is in the group with us. That's why it's called the Reiki Power of 3.
Yep.
And she ended up moving with like 3 weeks ago. And so everything kind of just got put on hold because we were helping her. And so we've been just trying to really get everything back together.
Okay. So definitely, yeah, I would start to make sure where you're trying to get, like, asking people questions in the group, trying to get the engagement going, the activity going. So Facebook will give it a little bit more love too. Because when there's activity in there, then when somebody makes a post, it boosts up the notification in whoever's in the group in their newsfeed. So, and maybe you might want to tell them that the challenge is coming in the group and get them pumped up about it, and like give them little, I don't know, some little, like, not quite teaching what's in the challenge, but something that's, you know, who in here does journaling? Is it something that's easy for you? Something that's not easy? And to start the conversation, because whenever you're doing a challenge, you kind of want to give like 2 weeks beforehand to promote it, to get people in. So like 2 weeks before.
Right.
And then during the challenge, how long is the challenge again?
We're going to just do 5 days.
5 days. Okay. So.
No, 7 days. Sorry.
7 days.
Yeah. Because we're doing each chakra. 7.
Okay. So then I would say, like,
journaling prompt. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So maybe do the first 2 days. On the third day of the challenge, start to mention the course. So you kind of like the third or fourth day, start to mention it. So like at the end of this, we're going to dive deeper into the chakras with, you know, this is what we're going to be teaching, and whatever you're going to call the course, like something kind of catchy for a name. And if you want to, like, you know, bounce names back and forth, or if you and Sam have something that's awesome, and just say, you know, we're going to teach more on this. We're going to dive deeper in our program called blah, 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 like the intro to the chakras or whatever. And we'll talk more about that at the end of the challenge. So then on the last day is when you really want to tell people, like, you know, this is what we're doing, and this is, you know, the cart is going to be open, and then give it, like, before you actually start the course and open the cart, give that another like 1 to 2 weeks to get people to enroll.
Okay. Yeah. And I don't, you know, we have always said was chakra course. So yeah, we definitely need to find something a little bit more catchy. I don't know. I'm not really sure what. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we could, you know, brainstorm ideas as we go. We have some time, but just brainstorm some ideas. Just something that's like something a little catchy, and something that, you know, feels right when you say it. You're like, yes, that's the one. But yeah, so you open up the cart, and then you give it a couple of weeks, and we'll go over all this again when it gets closer, but you give people a couple of weeks, and, you know, I don't know if you're going to give them some incentive, if whoever signs up, like early bird or that kind of thing. There's so many different little strategies you can do for that too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we could do half off of a Reiki session or something.
Right, or the first 20 people to enroll get a free distance Reiki session. Something like that.
That is good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and, you know, we'll think about price point too. 77 sounds interesting. I'd be curious to know how long it is and what the time commitment's going to be for you two, so that we can make sure that it's, you know, because I don't want to price something too high so that it feels weird and then the energy gets off when you talk about it, but I don't want it to be so low that it feels like you're drained and you don't, you know, you wanted to, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels draining or it feels a little heavy. Mm-hmm. Something right in the middle.
Right. Exactly.
It's kind of scary, but then it's not like, you know, it's not totally out of the range. So it feels like a block. So
right.
We'll get there.
Okay.
But yeah, that sounds fun. That's actually a great plan. I'm so excited for you guys. So yeah. So now it's just now is the time to start getting people into your group hardcore then. So maybe switching from the, you know, and still like talk to people about the Chiari and the healing and the autoimmunity or the chronic illness, but now maybe even more switching to like more chakra type folks who are really into the, Law of Attraction, Abraham Hicks, and the healers, and there's so many groups out there. So many.
There is.
Yeah.
Okay.
A ton.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. And
reading groups too. They're all into it.
Oh yeah.
Astrology groups. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that. And then, I think another thing is, you said to put it on like my personal page. That I have never ever done that because I've always just used my group. And I don't know. It's not that I'm embarrassed or anything. It's just, I think it's that fear still to put it on my personal page. And I don't know why, but I don't know. So I really need to step out there and just do it.
Yep. Well, it's time to fear. And then, because that's the only way forward is just to say F it and I'm going to do it.
And whoever likes it, whoever don't, right?
Yeah, keep on scrolling and thank you so much.
Exactly.
They're not helping you build your dreams or paying your bills or,
exactly.
We love them and we respect them, but they can keep their opinions to themselves. None their biz.
Exactly.
So so definitely I'm gonna start looking now for your posts. So I would do that tomorrow. I would do your first curiosity post and say, something like, who knows about the 7 chakras, or who is into chakra healing or chakra, I don't know, something that feels good to you. Just one simple question. Keep it real simple, and see if you can get people to comment back. Yeah. And let's see what happens.
Okay.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's time to get her out there and get her going. And also, as we get closer to your challenge, and you might want to think of a cool name for the challenge too, something catchy for that.
Okay.
Mine was Up Level Your Shit, like something that, is kind of catchy. And then I will put that on my page too. So, because that's not something I do, just do a chakra challenge or a journaling challenge. So I'll promote it too. And
awesome.
Yeah, and you can even put it into the group, the And She Rises group, and see if whoever else, vibes with that, if they'd be willing to put it on their page too. Like, this is how we help each other, which is part of this group, I feel, like really uplifting and supporting one another. So if someone has something really cool going on, we can post it and say, hey, look, a friend of mine's doing a journaling and a chakra challenge who would love that. So I have no problem with that. So.
Right.
Yeah, let's get them in there.
Okay. That's perfect.
Yeah. And I will also post that.
That's awesome. All right.
Yeah, I'll post it in the other group too, the Soul Aligned Life, and post it there too. So, because I'm sure people in there would be interested.
Okay.
So.
Okay. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And so, yes. So do you have any other questions or any other way you could be supported tonight with anything else?
I don't think so. I think what you said tonight was good. So I can get a head start on that and start thinking. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Because when it comes to, and as you go along and build your business, you're going to see there's this planning cycle. Every time there's going to be a time when you're launching something, and then there's going to be a time when you're serving your group and serving your community. And then there'll be a launch, and it's kind of goes like this. It's kind of a sales cycle and then a maintenance cycle, and then sales, then maintenance. So building. So right now you're going to go into a sales cycle. That means you're going to want to start talking about it a couple of weeks beforehand, have some sort of challenge, open the cart for a couple of weeks, and then start the course. So you'll start to get used to that rhythm as you go along. And right now it'll be oh shit, I have to do what by when? But then you'll get so used to it, it'll be nothing after a while. So So if you feel oh shit, definitely message me, and if you want to ask any questions when should we be launching, or what, let me know, because I know this is a lot to take in right now. But so just message me right now it's get people in your group, get them in your group. Yeah. And start talking about the challenge. It's really cool. It's I've never seen it done before, as a matter of fact, anywhere that I've seen. I mean,
I haven't
big world, but I have never seen somebody do a journaling and chakra challenge. So this is freaking cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. Yeah. So, okay. Awesome. Well, I appreciate everything.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And are you doing, by the way, are you going to be doing for the challenge, printables or handouts or anything like that? Worksheets? Or are you just doing like straight up chat?
I
You
thought
don't
just
have
straight
to.
up
I'm
chat.
just asking. Okay.
Yeah, I thought just chat. You know,
Yeah.
I figured maybe I could put, well, obviously we'd go on before the 5 day or before the 7 days, tell them what we're doing. And then like day one, I could just make a post about what it is. And then later that night we could go and be like, okay, how did it go? How did you feel? What were your emotions or whatever is
Okay.
what I was thinking.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Very good. All right.
Hey,
Thank you, my friend. So
thank you.
excited for you. You're welcome. All right. So Rebecca or LCAT, anything going on over there? 'Cause oh, there she is, Rebecca.
I'm here. I was like totally like just enjoying. And hi, Christy.
You're like all in the dark over there. You're like all like this silhouette in the darkness.
Well, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm actually just chilling with Aphrodite right now.
I love that. That's like
Yeah.
so.
I've got my altar lit up and the incense going, and it's like I don't even want like. So I'm just kind of like, well, you can't really see me, but that's okay too because I don't have my makeup on right now.
Oh, it's all good. It's good. You got the self-care going. Yeah.
I do. And so I've been working on that, but I don't know if you've worked with LCAT much. So if she wanted to go before me, she certainly, feel free to do that. Or I can keep talking.
LCAT's been quiet. And I'm sorry because I don't know who LCAT is because I know it's her email. So I'm not sure who I'm talking to over there.
Okay.
So if, she can absolutely come on if she wants to, but she's been quiet. Or I said you can post a question in the chat group too. There's a chat space. Where is the chat space? Usually I can see it right on my screen. Oh, there we go.
But yeah, I've been doing great though. So I totally went outside my comfort zone today with going live for the first time. Oh my God, I was totally freaking out though. Y'all have no idea. Well, you probably do have an idea, but
you seem calm to me. I mean, I didn't. You didn't look nervous.
I was freaking out. I was like so scared. I'm like, oh my God, and I had no idea how any of that operated. So like, I only thought like maybe like 2 people were in there. I thought like it was Christy and Mercy. I didn't even know when you came in. So I was like, people were asking questions and I didn't know I had to scroll to see them. So it was definitely a learning experience. But it's kind of funny because after I did that, I got to thinking, it's like, okay, is this something that I really need to keep doing or, what? And how I'm always asking the universe for confirmation signs. And it was kind of funny because I went on YouTube just to kind of like watch some people, with their law of attraction videos and stuff. And one of the ladies that I watched, she was like, one of the fastest way to manifest is stepping out of your comfort zone. I'm like, okay, well, there's my answer. Hello, thank you. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna, within a week, because I want to give myself a short time limit, I'm going to do it on my business page with going live with the readings. So that's a little scarier for me, though, because like within your group, it's like a lot of like-minded women, we're brilliant goddesses. And, so I felt somewhat confident, going in there. But, on my business page, it's like everybody from all walks of life. And I figured they got to be at least a little bit woo-woo or they're not going to be on a spiritual site for tarot and oracle card readings, but you never know.
I want to ask you, though, I might push you a little bit further and say, would you go on your personal page and do it?
I might. I might. And this is the reason right now why I'm kind of like hesitant. In the background, I have a the family that I do have left, we'll just put it that way. They're very Christian, live in the Bible Belt. And I'm already getting flack from some of the posts I make. And even though they don't mention anything about pagans or witchcraft or anything, it'll come from a website or not a website, but a Facebook page that is. And they'll see that, like the witch's cabinet or something. I can't remember what it was. And two of my second cousins decided to put their 2 cents in and like, you're going to go down this path and, your life has been so hard and because you don't have God. And it's like, are you kidding me? I just don't have your Christian God. So it just really escalated and spiraled. And I'm getting to the point of where I love them. I really do love them. And they're like basically the only family I do have left. But if they can't support me and are going to think less of me because I won't bow, that's how I kind of feel like, to their ways, then, sometimes you just got to cut ties. And I've done it before. My own brother is completely out of my life. And he's my younger brother. And I never thought that would ever happen, but it did. And, I don't really regret that either. I'm really kind of surprised about that. But, my life, it may not be where I want it to be, but it is a lot better than what it was a year ago. And I'm sorry, the Christian God did not get me there. I got me there, and with the help of the universe and, and my belief system. So, I didn't step a foot in church. And when I did, I've went to church off and on all my life, and I'm not knocking anybody who does. It's just not right for me. I've had many discussions, I just can't get behind a belief system where their God hates people or, basically is prejudiced against people and has like, crazy rules of who you can love and who you can be with kind of thing. So, so that's where I'm a little hesitant. So I don't know if I'm going to clean out my closet, so to speak, and cut those ties first, or maybe I'll just shock the hell out of them and do it anyway. I don't, I am really getting to the point where I don't care. I don't care. I just want to, push forward and just go for it. I'm tired of being stagnant and being scared, like, oh, if I say the wrong thing, they're not going to like me anymore. I don't want to live like that.
Yeah. Is that freeing? It's so freeing when you get to that point.
It is. It really is. Like today was very, just a free moment and very empowering. Even though I was scared to death after a while, it was like, okay. And my daughter, she comes down and she'll be 17 next month. And she's like, I heard you talking. You went live. You did it. I can't believe it. And I was like, you can't. She's like, well, yeah, I kind of can. She's like, but she goes, the first time you do anything, you're going to feel kind of creepy and weird. But once you keep doing it, you'll get used to it. And I'm like, out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah, totally.
My own daughter. So I thought that was cute.
Wisdom. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Because
And
I'm definitely raising her so totally differently than how I was raised. I've always, taught her since she was little bitty, you can do anything you want to do. You just got to put your mind to it, believe in it, and believe in yourself and do it, And then I feel kind of hypocritical because I'm not practicing what I've been preaching.
there it is. There it is.
Yeah. So now she's calling me out, which is good. I'm happy for her. I'm glad she is calling me out because that actually pushes me farther because in all honesty, if there's anybody that I do want to make proud, it is her, besides myself, anybody else, that's close to me, I don't really care what they think about me, that's just how I feel right now. It's like, you do have to set an example for your children, especially, I don't know, I think moms and daughters, it's on a whole different level for some reason too. So, not that if I didn't have a son, I'd still be as close, but I still think there's that bond. There's a different bond between mothers and daughters. I've had other moms actually tell me, I wish I had that close of a relationship with my daughter. My daughter doesn't even want to have anything to do with me, and we can't even talk. And I find that very sad. And I kind of wonder, is it really the kid or the parent sometimes too? But that's something, they have to figure out. But yeah, so I will probably go and do some chatting definitely I'm going to do it on my business page. And then, yeah, I'll attempt, I'll get up the courage eventually. I mean, if I can do what I did today, I know that I can go on my own page and be like, hey, what's up? Because people are supposed to be my friend there. And if they aren't, I would rather find out now than put any effort, into developing a friendship with somebody that's not going to be supportive or, is basically a negative person or not who they are presenting themselves to be. So.
Yep. And the reason why I say that about the personal page is because the business pages just don't get a lot of exposure, and you'll go live and you'll be like, why is nobody jumping on? Because Facebook won't tell anybody about it unless your page has had a lot of activity rolling for a while. Like it took mine. Now I'm just starting to get that activity now that I have, and it took me 2 years to get there. So if your page is relatively new and you don't have a lot of comments and engagement going on, you're better off going live on your personal page and then sharing it to your business page and starting to build both at once, because Facebook will tell all your personal page people about your live. And then when somebody pops on to watch, it tells all their friends that they're watching your live. So that's how you grow. Unfortunately, the business page just doesn't do it the same, and it's annoying. But that's just Facebook. So I would definitely encourage you strongly to just bust past the fear and who gives a shit what they think and just do it. And and just really start to, and then in the live stream, invite people to your group or your business page or book a reading. Like every time you're on, give people a call to action to do something to further their relationship with you. So, which I think you have you have the group, right? You have the group.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a group, but I do have the business page. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got your business page, and then you'll need a place for them to book a reading.
Right. Yeah. You can book a reading from my page. I've thought about a group, but it's just I don't know exactly how I want to, I don't know which direction I totally want to go with that, with the group. Cause I've got several different ideas, but it's I think that's just something I'm going to have to meditate on a little bit more and figure it out. I don't know if I want to, one of the things when I was meditating that came to me, Raphael is definitely telling me I need to do a group healing. And I actually had a dream about it the other night, and it was so vivid and so real. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to do it, what crystals, candles, everything. I saw the whole layout. It was oh my gosh. So, so I connected with a lady on Instagram, and lo and behold, she lives in my area. And she does a lot of Reiki. She's really into crystals like I am and everything. And so she and I have been talking a lot. So we may possibly do something jointly together, because she did a really beautiful crystal grid for protection. And, she had people just, drop their name, and then she would write their name down and put it under the crystals and everything. And it was really nice. So I'm thinking about doing that, I just know that it's supposed to be for healing. And then I've been thinking about doing one for self-love, because I know so many of my friends, they just, I know, because I was there, and I'm still working on some issues that I have, but so many women are just, they're so sad, and they have zero confidence. And like I said, I know what that's like. And, it's almost like they have their self-worth is non-existent. And it's like, oh my gosh, I wish you could see what I see, because I don't see that, you know? So, you know, that's kind of another way that I thought I might go. It's just for a group, I don't know. It'll be kind of hard to see which way I would go with that.
Well, yeah, that's something we can think about. But for now, let's get you going let's get some readings booked. And
Yeah.
do you have, if you go to your business page, does it lead to like a scheduler app? Can they pay and book your time, everything, or?
Yes, they can. I got all that worked out. And I did like the little test run on it and everything. So yeah, they can definitely, you know, book a reading. You know, it goes through, I forget how the payment is. I think it's through PayPal, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll have to double check that. And like in 2 weeks, the Etsy store will be up. That's why I didn't really kind of mention it too much. Like one of the things that I do, especially when I make like anything herbal, like the steams, my oils and things like that, I charge them for a full moon cycle. So some of them I'll start at the new moon and we'll go to the full moon. And they're in a couple of different special containers, and I put my crystals and all kinds of things around them. You know, just to give them a little extra oomph and charge, and seems to make quite of a difference, because some of the women, well, all of them actually, that have, you know, tested it have been like, oh my God, when are you selling these? And it, you know, and it's soon. I'm really picky. You know, I'm not going to just put something out there that, you know, isn't exceptional, because it's really important to me, you know, because of exactly what these products are, you know. I have a couple of like, you know, one of my favorite sprays that that's going to definitely be in the store is my St. Michael spray for Archangel Michael. Every time I've offered it in like some of my pagan groups, I can't keep it. Everybody wants it. They're like, oh my God, you got to keep making it. So I was like, well, I'm just going to start an Etsy shop and do it, instead of just like making little batches here and there and posting on a Sunday, like they have a market Sunday, and it's like, then people do. So I kind of thought, well, you know, I've got something going here. You know, I'm definitely going to do that. So in 2 weeks, it'll be open. Everything will have their packaging, the labels, everything. So, and I'm excited about that. Nervous, but excited. So
Great. I'm so excited.
yeah.
That's awesome. What good knowledge. And I know people are going to totally love that. So when were you planning on going live for your first reading?
On business page or the personal page?
I think that, you know, if you're going to do it, go for the gusto, because you don't want to do that and have like, you know, have little engagement on it. I want to see you build, and if you want to, and start making money too. So like build community and start earning your income, and that boosts your confidence too. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. So
I would think, well, you know, usually Tuesdays are oh my God, I can't talk now. Tarot Tuesdays. So might as well do it Tuesday.
All right. I'm writing it down because
oh, I know you are.
I want to be there, and and I want to announce it on my page, and I'm going to announce it in the groups as well. So I want people to tune in, because I know that's helped before. Like, the people who are on my page love readings, of course. So I want to start to direct them to your personal page. That'll be fun.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And so that'll be great. So in your first reading, that will be awesome. And are you doing like a 3-card spread? Are you doing like 1-card pulls like I do, or how do you plan on?
I had actually thought about doing like 1-card pulls. I know that sometimes that can get crazy though. Even when I wasn't going live and just posted it, I did sometimes post those on my personal page. You know, and I'd get like 40 or 50 people wanting a card pull, and it was like, oh, I was so drained by the end of the night, though. It was like, oh my God, why did I say I'd do that? So That's when I kind of did a little bit more of the 3 cards. But I've been wanting to kind of like expand a little bit on that. I've seen some new ideas out there that I wanted to try, and some of them was where you take a couple of the different decks and you pull different cards from there, and you know, make the piles that way. And there is a lady on YouTube, and I finally found the dice that she uses, but she uses tarot dice, and they are the coolest things. Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, this is kind of cool and unique, you know. So I'm looking into it. I'm not completely sold on it yet. I kind of want to, you know, look into a few other things that I've seen. So, but yeah, I might, you know, we'll see. But I think maybe it's just starting off with 1 card pools. Might be that, but then again, you know, Monday night I could be like, no, I'm going to do the 3 piles and just, you know, do like 3 or 4 cards per pile and kind of give like an all around view. And more than likely I'll put like a crystal on top of the card, because I'm really drawn to crystals, and crystals and herbs seem to be my thing. I love them. So that's most likely what I will do. Either one of those.
Okay, cool.
On Tuesday.
Awesome, on Tuesday. And so, yeah, so that's either way. I mean, the only thing I would recommend is that you make some sort of a post announcing what time you're going to go, just to give people that heads up that you're going.
Right.
And then I can do those in that group too. So let me know what time you plan on it.
Okay.
And that will be awesome. And whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes, I'm excited.
Do you belong in a lot of the light worker or reading, psychic reading tarot groups also?
I don't really belong to any, like, I don't think any light worker groups. There's a few tarot groups I belong to, but they're like, one is called Tarot Nerds, which is really funny. And then one is called Tarot Thoughts. But that group, those 2 groups are really mainly for fun, especially Tarot Thoughts, because you know, thought means that hoe over there. So it was like,
oh my gosh, that hoe over there.
That's what it means. So, but you know, they like make like the funny memes of like what the tarot could mean, and it's just a group for fun. So it's not like, you know, some of the conversations don't get really too in depth there. Now, Tarot Nerds, which I recommend to anybody who is into tarot, there's like a couple of people in there that are developing their own tarot decks, and they are absolutely amazing and gorgeous. So, you know,
your future project.
Yeah, right. I was thinking about that. It was like,
yeah.
You know, I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, that would be so fun to do that. But yeah, that's something that is definitely like a little bit down the road kind of thing. Or at least oracle cards, you know, which I just, you know, I would love to do something like that. I'm not artsy, but my child is. So it's like, hey, this could be a mother-daughter project, you know?
Absolutely. That would be so epic. Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of people do those startup funds. Almost every person that I've seen start their own tarot decks. That's what they do. They start a startup fund, and I've never seen anybody not make the goal that they set out to do, and they got their tarot decks out there. So it's like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. So yeah, that's definitely something I've got written down as a long-term goal. Like that's like in the next 2 to 3 years goal kind of thing. So yeah.
Awesome. And so what were we just talking about before that?
Light working group.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So like I said to Christy, I would suggest that you just start looking for more of them and just joining them, because when you have that meaningful, I always like to say like Facebook time with meaning. So when you're like focused Facebook time. So when you're on those groups, some of them let you share live streams, some of them don't. So you can sometimes share live streams in there and get viewership that way. Some of them will boot you out, so you have to just read the rules. And then there are also in the groups, like sometimes people will just post like, oh, can somebody pull a card for me? Or can somebody read this for me? And then you can start commenting and interacting with your own skills. And then what happens is people check you out. They look at your page, you know, they see, and that's, you can make more connections and like build your, you know, build your gift base, or like get yourself known out there and things like that. So you might want to join some of those groups and just start, you know, just commenting, showing up, even sometimes posting some of your funny memes that you post in my group. Even though some of those groups are the same thing, like you could do that totally. And start getting your name out there.
All right. That'll be my project for the upcoming week, is to find more groups then.
Decide on what time you're going to go live, tell me, and then announce it on your page. On Monday, probably you can give a heads up Monday going tomorrow, and then another heads up Tuesday going in an hour or whatever. Because you know, this is big. This is big, and we want to try to get you to have those booked private readings from this. And, also, you can consider, if your Instagram following is growing, going live on Instagram and doing a reading there too. Even if it's just a one card. I do a one card. Hello, quick one card on Instagram.
Yep, I've seen yours. I've seen yours. And I just took a course, believe it or not. I just happened to come across her. She did a free 5-day course on how to grow your Instagram. It was very interesting. There was a lot of things I did not realize. I did not realize that there are actually banned hashtags that you should not use. I'm like, oh, which I don't think you or I or anybody really that does our type of readings or posts that we do, I don't think we use the words that are banned. So that was an eye-opener. You know, and of course, you know, if you want to take her more in-depth course, she offered one and everything. But yeah, just that 5 days, I learned, you know, a lot of different like little tips and tricks. And of course, if anybody would want to know that, I would definitely share those. Let's see. So I have thought about, you know, doing like a few, because I do finally do the story now, and I finally have got a pattern down for my Instagram page. And since I've done this and it doesn't look so chaotic, I have been getting more followers. I have been getting more comments, more interaction on it. So that definitely, you know, was something that was worthwhile and actually really helped a lot. But I really try to want to build my Facebook up. Although, you know, depending on who you talk to, some people say, well, Instagram is, you know, what's up and coming and the way to go. But then, you know, you have other people tell you, no, it's Facebook for quote unquote our age range. So, you know, it's like the younger ones do that. I'm definitely not doing Snapchat though. It's like, no, I'm not going there. That's not worth it to me.
The structure of how it works really doesn't make too much sense either, unless you're going on there to say, hey, join me on my Facebook page. See ya. Like, you know, like there's really, it's not the same. We're not kind of doing the same thing. Snapchat to me is like when you're documenting your life, like you just want to like, here's what I'm doing every second. Like Gary Vaynerchuk does a great, like, you know, Snapchat, Instagram, like, I mean, that's awesome. But until you start money flowing from one platform, I would not focus too much on the two. You might want to pop into Instagram to keep like what you've learned, implement what you've learned and keep it active. But mastering the Facebook first, especially if it's where you feel more confident, like just start getting your money flowing there before you worry about too much about Instagram.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm focusing on. It's like, you know, I post and I'm interactive every day on Facebook. On Instagram, I check it every day just to see if there's any messages, but I may just only post 4 or 5 times a week. And then, you know, I'll just throw something up on my story, you know, because you really don't have, it's a no-brainer for that. But they said, you know, what I learned was to like try to do something morning, noon, and night, you know, a picture or a poll or something that kind of like keeps people interested. And yeah, I kind of went from like like 1 or 2 people looking to like now I've got like 20 to 30 people looking when I do morning, noon, and night. So, and that takes me, maybe 15 minutes out of my day to do that little bit. So I can handle it. It's not like taking like too much time or whatever. But yeah, Facebook is definitely my main focus right now.
Cool. All right, ladies. Well, I actually need to jump off tonight at the hour. My husband's going away for the next 3 days in like 5 hours. So I'm just going to spend a little time with him before he goes. But
Absolutely.
I know, right? But I thank you. I mean, is there anything else that's pressing though that you want to go over before we?
Oh no, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So we've got some action items. Both of you have got some big things coming up. So I want to make sure we're like in regular touch. So either messaging me or like posting in that group and She Rises or whatever, and talking on these calls, and anything, just let me know, like anything that's on your mind. Cause I know these are almost like 2 launches right now. So yeah, we want to really like, this is it. Here we go.
Christy and I are going to rock it.
I know. And you're like, well, you're so ready. It's been so happening in the making. So now it's just time to just do and release those, anybody else's criticisms and shit, and anyone else who might have told you to, stay small or shut up, or who are you to do this? Like they could just, and then we're done with that. And it's time. So totally do this.
It is.
Totally do this.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's like we're making the decision. We're declaring it now. It's it. That's it.
Right.
It's going to happen. Your desire to serve people is much greater than anybody's bullshit 2 cents. And that's the truth.
Right.
That's really the truth. And if they really were people who had the life you wanted and were living in their higher vibration, they wouldn't even consider critiquing you. People who are doing really well do not even critique people. That drives me nuts. Even when I see other coaches or leaders out there I hate it when people do this and this and this. It's like, who has to, like, that just shows me a little bit of a lower vibration. And then I might not follow that person anymore or not buy their course, because if you're truly on your own track and you're so focused on serving your people and getting your work out to the world, you're not criticizing anybody. You're just not. It's not in your consciousness. It doesn't mean we don't get irritated. We're human. Like, doesn't mean we're not going to be like, we're going to have our moments, but not going to go blast it out on Facebook. That's for sure. But I mean, so, it's true though. It's like we manage ourselves. We're getting emotional intelligence. Like we feel it, and it's okay. We accept it. We love ourselves no matter what, even though sometimes we feel like slapping somebody. But then when it comes to our business though, like there's just no time for the petty stuff anymore. There's none. So if they're coming to you, they're probably not someone you want to be emulating anyway. Like, so they can zip it. You ever see Austin Powers? Zip it. You ever see?
Yeah.
So funny. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's exactly what I think of. I make myself laugh when I come to those moments. So, anyways, so that's it. So on that note, so let's rock it, crush it, have a good night's sleep, nurture yourselves, and just keep me super posted, because this is big. This is launches. You need support. So that's what I'm here for. And, message me either private or in the group. That's fine. Either way, I want you to have a successful launch. So.
All right.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Night.
So
have a good night, ladies.
You too.
Good night, Christy.
See you next time. Bye.